Greetings, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Pushpa Sania and this is my quarter 2 improvement. And as I have said in my last quarter, that I am going to focus on building my career in robotics, mechatronics, and AI, as well as focusing on my body. And here, as you can see, I have not done anything. I'm simply shameless, but that's fine as long as I don't give up. And but this is also not a good sign that I just say that I'm going to do something, that is to do very basic push-ups, then focus on doing some advanced thing such as boxing, learning how to fight, because for a man it is very much important that you learn how to fight, whether that be by your body, by your mind. Of course, that by that I mean by law. You should really know, if you are a person who is living in India, then you need to know about law. Basic little, what are the sections that are dangerous to you, and of course, what you are going to achieve by building this attractive body. Some may be very fat people, fat men who are used to eating fast food, sitting on their white collar jobs 9 to 5, and not really focusing on their body. Well, that's make them fat, also unattractive and ugly. And what do we human beings have? We all have sexual desires, and what do you think? What is happening in our modern generation? Well, most of the men, most of the people, they are wasting their energy and watching porn and indulging in self-pleasure rather than building meaningful relationship. But if you really do look, understand, and think well, you will see that there are no law that is going to punish a woman for her exploitation, but there are going to be many that's going to punish a man if he was to really cheat on a woman. And you understand that we human beings, we are selfish individuals, and we always think about ourselves first and then think about the other person. And in this, we build relationship thinking in our mind what we get from another person. Let's say if a man is very handsome, he is very attractive, then women may be wanting him to really talk big, get that respect in front of other female colleagues, to have that great sex, and simply that's it. The same thing goes to men as well. If you have a very beautiful, attractive woman, then you can simply talk big in front of other men, in front of your male friends. But when it comes to sex, if you were to have sex with her and at a later stage you cheat on her and she got angry on you and she was to go and file a rape charge on you, and you are really someone who does not know about it, because maybe you are just someone who just focuses on game and well whatever else. But the same thing will not be, because in India the very incompetent administration will be doing these proceedings and you will be harassed by it. Of course, at a later stage, if it was to be proven that she has filed a false charge, then she will spend her years in prison. But then again, you see this one law where everyone has sexual desires from the age of 14 years, from the age of 12 to 14 years, and well, they can't have sex because that's the way how society works. You have to hide it from the society, and well, everyone wants a virgin woman. Everyone, if a woman gets successful, they want a virgin husband, and that creates a problem. A problem that only man faces, because all women empowerment talks about women having no accountability, and this is for what I as a man I am fighting for. And our country India is not really free. We are still following those injustice laws that were set by the Britishers, when there was a lack of knowledge, when females they really used to stay in their home, but now they are started earning their own money. And as I have said repeatedly again and again in my each and every video, they also woman does not have sex for her pleasure. She is going to have sex for her financial gain, for ensuring she gets some growth in her career. But as a man, you might be shameful for that. You have that degree of some degree of self-respect and dignity, but some men they don't have it. But women become helpless victims, and men they just really become the accused. Something which is not acceptable by me, and that's where I want to live in a country where men are respected, where men they are not treated as donkey who are just driving the economy and really having sex without any kinds of concerns, having any kinds of fear, and really there would be a law for virgin individuals, and that's it. Now let's move on to the free plane open source mind mapping software thanks to its creator, and we will see what are the improvement goals that I have set for this quarter, and I'm also going to share what improvement I did in my last quarter. Okay, well, so this is Replane, an open source mind mapping software. When I talk about my first quarter, I have not done anything. And well, I'm not going to express everything once again. It would be very much obvious to people. Please go and check out my playlist, Self Mastery and Success, that I have started uploading on YouTube since January 2024, I believe. And well, as you can see, here it is the same thing. Uh, your own worth value the most. Your worth matters, self worth matters. What you think about yourself, it really matters. And right now, here, once again, I am focusing my career. I have, okay, I have not written this. Skill development, AI, hands-on machine learning with scikit-learn, Keras, and TensorFlow. Well, these are all the tools and techniques that are required to build a successful career in machine learning. But as you know, our society is going towards autonomous, I will say, units where everything will be done by robots, and you will see much more less human work. And it is the best time to build a career and to even develop your own company to make affordable robots that you can sell to the government and to the other nations, especially the one such as African continent. I really do think that. The simple reason is you don't really need money. Money is nothing, it's just a piece of paper. It does not hold any worth and value. Any government can print any money, but what really matters is what you are doing. And right now, I'm doing one of the most important thing that I believe the entire country would have failed to do in their 75 in their 78 years of freedom. You can really add that how many years have passed. It is around 70 to 79 years, and you get that. So even still, we have an incompetent election and various other constitutional bodies and the government bodies that are simply not capable to run this country. and there are loopholes which peoples are exploiting. But that does not matter. How does it affect a common man, a common individual? Well, if you are a common man, you are at much more getting harassed. And since right now, when I talk about myself, why does all of this matters to me? Well, I'm an Indian, and really, I just have an option to either leave this country and build a career in foreign nations and really be an asset to some further to some foreign countries such as Netherlands. I believe I really believe that their system of administration is much better compared to India or even Germany, and well, at least they don't have the religion and the superstition that exist in our society, which people just blindly follow, and they are a fool. But if you stay with them, then you are also someone who get harassed, and this is something that is not acceptable with me. And now peoples are getting aware, and they have started asking about the accountability of the government and the parliament. And there are, well, as a man, I really do not accept these laws, and I'm going to fight the government and the parliament, and I won't let them harass and ruin my life, because I do not believe they are really ensuring that they do want to develop their nation. They just want to stay in power, and whatever the tax which will be paid by this big company, especially in India, we have a giant IT structure. I'm not going to take any company's name, but I do have an ambition to build my own, and ensuring that I work for my own interest, that is to build my own company that eventually is self-dependent, whether that be hardware, software, or anything else. And for all of that, it's such a big aim. I hope that I will find like-minded individuals who believe in common goal, and they really want to live their life on their own terms and conditions and be free, especially men, because in our society, if you are a man, your value is really measured by your financial wealth, and that's something that is not acceptable once you understand the dynamics of your sexual desires and your power, your worth. And this is where all of this game starts, which always works in the favor of women. And this is something that I do not want, but I am not strong against the parliament and the government. I'm just a common man like you. And of course, it is unfortunate that I'm a man, that I'm a guy, and I am unfortunate because I live in a country where women are treated as helpless sheep victims. And for that, I really have created my own company, ensuring I am going to create my own company soon. This is my success from the last 4 to 5 years, where I have not really worked for anyone, for any company. I didn't got any I didn't got any job after my engineering, and I didn't want to, but I didn't know how to start and how to really create your own company, because it's really a big task. You need to have an idea, then you need to make some prototype out of it, and then send it to the cold email to various investors, or take part in various competitions in your engineering for your startup, or to approach the government, and they will think about it, and then they will invest their money if they find really it can help them, it can help the society. And that's where you will have your own company. But even still, if someone is investing in your company, then you need to understand they are going to have a say in your company. Even if you are a founder, you will have to sell your shares, and that's where you lose the authority and the power over your company. And this is why the journey of a solo firm, it's really a very difficult one, but yet a very rewarding one because you are the one who is responsible for quite everything. Well, you since you are the one responsible, then you need to be the best, and that's where everything is going to make sense. Where I am trying to focus my career on doing everything from artificial intelligence, from machine learning, from really knowing about the CAD system, knowing how to build PCB boards, printed circuit boards, and really how and knowing about the electronic stuff, doing the testing, doing the prototype prototyping, and maybe think of having a loan and then using it to grow the company rather than selling the stocks. But I really do think that I will, if I want to really sell my stocks, that I would really try to sell it to the government and the parliament because I want to be someone who really has his own country. Because I believe we are men, we are human beings, we are animals, and just like animals, they have an hierarchy where the strongest one they decides the what law and order would be. And similarly in our country, if you are a politician, if you get into politics, if you want to, then you really have a say in the formation of the law, and maybe you can be the government and run this country. And well, and you understand that there will be judiciary which will make you accountable, but that's only in theory. That's not happen in the practical scenario. Judiciary, they just say silent, or either they stay corrupt. And well, so all of these are the job roles that I'm going to focus on. I know I have still not done this thing, and as I should complete that part where I was saying that if I really want to sell my stocks, then I want to sell it to the countries of the entire world. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but when you have an aim, when you have a wish, when you have a desire to really have your own government, parliament, and judiciary, then you need to make your own laws. And for that, you really need the support of the most powerful people. And that's where I want to create my own from a company to a country, because I believe space will no longer be just a dream, just it will no longer be a science fiction where people will just think that they can colonize and they can sustain human life without food, water, oxygen. And well, we will make some changes, and I want to be one of them who really have his own harem, because I still believe I was not someone who was born in the medieval era who has his own imperial harem where they can have sex there, and there will be beautiful young feminine women, and you can really have sex with them. But in our country, um, that's since it's not the time of the kings and the emperor, but even still we live in a society where secrecy is where, when you can in your schooling, in your college years, you can have plenty of premarital sex, and then when you ask about accountability, there is no accountability of women. uh, it's just great to be a woman in a society where everyone just say women are helpless victim. And in my eye, I really do not give them any kind of sympathy. For me, any tear and sorrow they have, it's just crocodile tear, and it does not matter to me. So, as I said, you need to have the position and the power to make a change for the better, and fighting for your own rights. And that's where UPSC Civil Services comes into play. If I'm able to crack civil services and be an IS officer, well, that's great. Certainly, I will not be someone who will really be a politician who can propose a bill in the parliament to equalize the law as well as to equalize pre-marital agreement, because really everything is just a game of finance, reputation, and power and sex. And well, I'm up against those trash men who call themselves men, who call themselves masculine, and they are really just trash. I'm not going to degrade them anymore because I don't want to waste my energy on them. So this is the part of physical improvement. As you know, strength is something which you need. And one more thing, I am going to soon start learning to cook my own food. Learning, learning to cook my own food. Well, cooking and learning. Well, I haven't not added the part of dating and romance. Romance and dating every Sunday. Well, it will be very much clear. This is going to make me a little more independent, be dependent on myself when I really do not need anyone else to cook. When I really do not need anyone else to cook my own food. There are plenty of online resources for that, and soon I will start learning to focus on my body, to take care of myself first, and really just date women every Sunday, every Saturday, every Sunday, and try to have a good conversation with them, and really just try and focus on building my own country, my own company, and really have premarital agreement if I really like a girl. Because without an agreement, I'm not thinking of marrying. I don't need to marry. You don't know the past of any woman, and really, women they are really just gold diggers. They don't want to, even if they were to become successful. I'm going to insult. They don't have any respect, so it does not matter whether you insult them. They are going to spread their legs to get to any position of power by sleeping with powerful men. And if you are a man, a weak man, maybe I should not call myself weak, but I'm really strong and courageous to fight against all of this. But yeah, when you think about the financial power and the political connections and the ability to change the decision of of the government, parliament, and the judiciary, then I am very weak. I can't do anything. But on the other case, if you are a helpless woman, you don't need to do anything for that. You can just spread legs, get job, promotion, success. Even I believe at a later stage, you can even spread your legs in front of a judge or for an advocate, and or maybe just the governor or the any member of the parliament who can really help you remove all of your crimes. Then women will not lag behind it. And if a woman was to spread her legs for that, in order to achieve that, if the government may fail to do it, then they might pass a law in order to protect a woman. Our great, glorious, and helpless, stupid leaders that are forming this law in the name of protecting women, and shameless women who just say they are victim. So all of my improvement will be focused on this. And I really need to tell I am not someone who hates women. I can't because I don't have any interest in becoming a person like a feminist do, where they just turn to lesbian. I don't have any interest in becoming a homosexual guy because when it comes to men, I do understand that as a man, I understand the agony of another person when they are being stabbed, when they are being cheated and deceived, and how they are harassed by law and the judiciary. But I also and when it comes to the relation of man with the man, we are always fighting, and we should be fighting because that's what men do. Fighting help us become stronger when and it should be done in a friendly manner, not in a bullying way. And that's where I am really focusing on improving myself, learning to fight through that small boxing practice where I do the 50 punches left and 50 punches right. Focus on eating healthy, nutritious food for the brain that help boost my memory and well, it helps me mentally improve because civil services has a lot. It has a big syllabus, and you need to learn and understand things quickly and retain it in order to build those long answers. And well, you also need to stop being lazy, control your urges. And right now, I'm still someone who is wasting my energy on porn and listening to useless music and game, and I'm going to change it. So this will be it for this quarter. As long as I'm not going to achieve this, all of this, what I've said, I'm not going to move forward. And when it comes to soap, well, when I talk about soap, I have really created the prototype, as I've said in my last year milestone and achievement section, where I have said that yes, I have created a soap, but that soap is costly, and I have to do a little bit of research and make some demo pieces so that I can reduce its cost and sell it to the society, and maybe I might sell it to women at a higher price in order to ensure my security first, because really Indian administration is incompetent when it comes to any allegation that may be put on a man. And you as a man, if you are the founder, if you are a CEO, if you are a board of director of man, then ensure the safety of men first, at least in the future. My male employees will quite be, I should say, be thankful to me that I have done that I have gone out of my way in order to create an environment where men's effort they are not really ignored, where if a low level employee is working hard and he does not get a job or some kind of promotion just because a woman just sleep with the manager in order to secure the job and the promotion, there will be action that would be taken against that manager. And I have something in my mind that will ensure that the managers they have accountability and their power is reduced, and the power just goes to the central authority that will be the CEO of the company, and they will directly be accountable to the chairperson and the managing director. And the company will be working in fulfilling the ambition of the founder, that is me, Piyush Pilsania. Of course, my dream to have that great sex which I never had in my life, just because I was I was shameful and fearful talking about sex. And in the society, I became a victim of the CBSE board of shame and fear. And well, you get it. Everything is just game where one thing leads to another. Well, that's it for this month, for this quarter. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and of course, share this video with your friends. If you are a bachelor, if you are an engineer, you should go out of your comfort zone, and it's fine to fail. It is going to affect you a lot when you are going to grow, and when you are when you are going to think about your life at a later stage. Just because you were really scared, you were you just thought that people will really make fun of you just because you fail in something. You can take an inspiration for me from me that I am someone who is planning to send email to the entire world, to the Russian government, to the government of USA, to Chinese government, to Indian government, etc., etc., etc. That I want to create a private company. Please invest in our company. We will help develop your nation. We will build that top class infrastructure. We will focus on building your army, your navy, and really be someone that will you can just rest at the back seat. You can really just rest and let us do the everything. And well, as I said, what really matters, you will just see that right now when it comes to the international issues, you will see that how the USA dollar it is getting weaker, and how other countries like such as China, they are trying to strengthen their global currency more and more. They are trying to ensure that more and more countries they just start using their currency, and it will help them get that top top position. And of course, you can only assert your authority if you are the strongest. If you are weak, you cannot do quite anything. And well, that's where it's all about power. And we wish to be someone, we wish to be the strongest. And of course, we are working hard for it. And I do not want to be someone who is really, I want more. I do not wish to struggle like this, but I also do not want to be harassed by any law. If there is any law, if there is anything that is going to threaten men, that is going to be injustice, then it will be destroyed. And even I believe if male were to dominate women, it's still fine. Because really women they do not want equality, they just want that power and leverage over men. And they just don't care even if men are harassed. They may act good in front of society, but they will have they most probably would have ulterior motives as well. And that's it. It's all about how much you know about a person and what ideology they have. And this is it. Thank you for watching this video.